All right, we're back. Another little bite-sized information piece for you all taken from our Coach 1 and 2 Academy. Today we're going to talk about troubleshooting. So turning problems into solutions, and apologize for the weird light. There is some major reflection going off my office desk that's making me a little bit blind. All right, let's get stuck into it. So I've already talked about follow-up. So now we're going to talk about how we respond to some difficult questions and objections that your clients may have. Let me also say that as a coach, it is really hard when your team starts expanding really fast and then suddenly you're getting all your coaches in your team messaging you looking for responses for problems their clients may be having or their team's clients may be having. Okay, so it's really important that we all learn, the appropriate responses and know where to find the information as well. So this is kind of my way now when someone messages and be like, oh my gosh, this client's having this problem. What should I say? What should I do? I'm just going to send them this video. All right. So the not losing weight response. So you've got a message or someone's on a weigh-in and they're not losing weight. Okay. So a 7 to 10 day weight plateau is totally normal for some people at various stages of weight loss. I tend to hit this about every 3 months. I hit a plateau, no matter how strict I'm being. So it's totally normal that they may be experiencing a bit of a plateau. If it goes any longer than the 7 to 10 days, you need to cover these kind of 2 issues that it could be coming from. Number 1, these are the only 2 reasons that the products aren't working. Only 2 scientifically proven reasons. The client is not using the products exactly as they're meant to be. So they're kind of half-assing it. Don't ever use your half-ass, always use your full-ass. Clients not using the product exactly as they should be for their goals and their program, and they are cheating too much. Those are the only 2 reasons that the program can't be working. So you just need to, ask some questions around identifying if they're maybe not using their programs 100%, or if they're just cheating and enjoying those extra little things too often and too much. Or they may be eating really healthy, but they could be eating a bit too much, so checking out their portion control. And a really easy way of doing this is fantastic. All right, you're probably in a plateau. What we're going to do is I'm going to get you to send your food logs for 3 days, like 100% honesty, everything that goes into your mouth, liquids and, food, and your tablets and supplements. I want you to give me the time and what you're eating in a list and message it to me at the end of the day for 3 days. And that's a really, really easy way to identify some of the problems that they may be having, whether they're not using the products exactly, maybe their time's too long between snacks, maybe they're eating the wrong types of things, or they're making their shakes wrong, or they're cheating too much, okay? The solution is just 3, 2, 1, just cut back. So after seeing their food logs, you can clearly identify the areas that they need to work on, and you can give them that information to move forward. It works every single time. We have 100% money back guarantee for a reason, because it is scientifically proven to work if you take the products properly and you're not cheating too much. All right, so some more troubleshooting. How many times a day are you taking your tablets? So these are all the questions that you can ask someone who's maybe not seeing the results that they want. Another point to be made is make sure that their expectations aren't unrealistic. And this comes back to when you're doing a wellness evaluation and setting someone up on a program, making them aware that, they on average, sticking to their program on an ultimate pack, they're going to lose about 1 kilo a week. So if they've got to lose 20 kilos, you need to make them understand that that's going to take about 20 weeks. That's not going to happen in 4 weeks. So make sure you're managing their expectations as well. But see, these are some of the questions that you can ask people when you are troubleshooting some problems that they may have. How many times per day are you taking your tablets? How many shakes and smoothies are you having each day? So once again, this is not saying, have you had your shakes? Have you had your tablets? You're asking them how many times. You're asking those open-ended questions. How many shakes and smoothies are you having each day? Are you having it on Saturday and Sunday? Really important one. So many people you'll find, they're like, I'm doing it 100%. Oh, but I do take Sundays off. And on Saturday, I drink a lot with my friends. So you just need to ask the right questions to identify the problems and then work on a solution. Make sure they're using the products exactly. If they are taking the products and not losing weight, then they are taking in too many calories. So it's a simple science of energy in versus energy out. That's why I believe getting their food logs is really, really important. And then you can also track it on apps like MyFitnessPal and things like that, where you can actually track the exercise they're doing. If they wear a Fitbit or something, you can see the calories in, the calories out, because some people are eating really healthy, and they are. There's nothing wrong with what they're eating. They're just eating a little bit too much, okay? 4 areas to check. Putting too much in their shake. It can be really easy to go overboard. You know, instead of 1 teaspoon of peanut butter in a Snickers shake, 1 tablespoon, you know, 1 teaspoon for the shake, 1 teaspoon for Shona. A little bit of banana in the morning shake, a full banana in the afternoon shake. You know, their protein snack suddenly turns into 4 eggs instead of 1. It can just be a little bit too much. So putting too much in their shake, not cutting back on the main meal or having seconds. Something one of my girls in the last couple of weeks, she's like, I'm having my portion control. I'm having it on, you know, the smaller plate, and I'm doing it all right. But sometimes I'm still hungry after, so I'll go back and have another serving. I'm just like, oh, sweetie, you know, that kind of defeats the idea of portion control if you're having smaller portions and 2 or 3 times the portions. So just make sure you're asking them questions like that. It's important that they do cut back on their main meal, because portion control is something, you know, in our society that's just totally twisted these days, and we really want to educate people on that. And they're snacking too much and on the wrong things. A high protein snack is not an entire watermelon. A high protein snack is not, you know, a handful of cereal. It's not an LCM bar. Like, you've got to be careful about your snacks, and also that you're not having too much. A snack, you know, is a handful size of nuts. It's about 100 grams as a snack. And what they're drinking. It can be so easy for people to drink their calories without realizing. And we obviously encourage that people drink as much water as possible and cut out juice, fizzy drinks, alcohol, sports drinks, etc. But it can be very easy for people when they're sending their food logs or they're thinking about what they've eaten in the day, for the liquids to completely skip their mind. It's not something we consciously think about tracking. There's a couple of glasses of wine with dinner, or, you know, that juice that you have in your morning shake, that Coke that you might have grabbed on the way home from work to keep you awake. Like, there's so many little things that we're not really consciously aware of that can be sabotaging our progress. And the dietary body changes that people might experience, they're rare, but it can affect up to about 5% of people. And I've found with my clients that 5% is usually pretty correct. It certainly doesn't affect everyone. Now, this says never talk about it at the setup stage. Otherwise, you'll cause it to happen more often, but be aware and be ready should it arise. I do agree with that to some extent. I, however, don't agree with it further on. If I have someone who I'm doing a wellness evaluation with and they're ready to get on products, and they are coming from a very unhealthy lifestyle, and they're eating lots of sugary carbs, lots of soft drink, lots of coffee, you know, they are in that really bad health. I think it's important, and I've found great success with making them aware about the detox that their body may go through before they actually start on products. They're a lot more aware of it, they're kind of prepared for it, and they understand that it's temporary, because it can be quite a shock to the system if they're coming from that really bad lifestyle choices. So I believe use your own discretion with that, especially if you've got someone who's coming from a really bad lifestyle, or they do have a lot of weight to lose. I think, you know, anyone who's looking to lose 30 or 40 kilos or more, obviously their habits that they currently have are not good ones. I think they need to be aware that they're probably going to feel a little bit lousy for the first couple of days. And I found great success with that, with people messaging me at day 1 to 3, like, hey, feeling good, not feeling hungry, got a little bit of a headache, but I know that's normal. And you're like, yep, fantastic sign, okay? It just reaffirms that they're on the right track and makes them prepared for it. All right? Oh, gotta remember to breathe. Okay. So it's up to you. If you've got someone that is fairly healthy already, I think it's probably not worth messaging. Not worth letting them know about the detox. However, they're catch-22. Sometimes people can experience symptoms and they won't tell you about it because they feel like it's not normal and they don't want to bother you. Okay, so I like to let everyone know at the start that they might get that lethargicness, a little bit of a headache as their body detoxes them. You'll find most people are aware of that anyway these days. It's quite commonly talked about and expected when you do change things in your diet and lifestyle. So possible symptoms that they could experience: nausea, light headaches. Some people do get severe headaches. wind and gas, and definitely lethargicness, what I found is probably the most common. Mild diarrhea, or the opposite, whereas they get temporary constipation. Using the follow-up methods that we've talked about in this video and other methods in other videos, it's really easy to, and what I say is someone messages me, I'm like, how's your appetite? How's your energy? How's your tummy feeling, you know, day 4? And they go, oh, tummy's not so great. You know, I'm going to the toilet a lot, bit of an upset tummy. And I'm like, oh, I know that kind of sucks. But guess what? That's actually a really great sign. It means your body's detoxing. It means it's working. And you know what? It's only going to happen for a couple of days. It's just your body flushing out the toxins. And then they go, oh, okay, well, that's good then. It means everything's working, right? So that's how I respond to that type of thing, especially with the headaches. You find people say a lot, we're like, yeah, totally normal. I had one at the start as well. Make sure you're having your high protein snacks, more water, more water, more water, more water. You'll feel a lot better in a day or two. A dull headache, you know, kind of one of those just really annoying ones that don't go anywhere. And a rash. We do find some people, you know, their body is flushing a lot of toxins out. It is making a change to their lifestyle. And the skin is actually the largest organ. So sometimes that the skin responds by going, whoa, what's going on here? And they get a little bit of a rash, you know, especially around this area here, you know, and on the insides of their arms. And you've got to be able to say, hey, guess what? That's totally normal. All right, moving forward. The products cannot and will not cause any of these. So they will not cause headaches. They will not cause rashes. It is simply the result of a change in eating habits, and it is a temporary situation. So whether you start using Herbalife, whether you know, start doing any other lifestyle change where you're changing your habits, you will experience these symptoms. Okay, so it's not Herbalife causing these symptoms. And your response should always be fantastic. If this is from your Herbalife regime, that is great. It is a really good sign. This means your program is working, and I totally understand what is happening. So use that feel, felt, found if you did have the same symptoms when you started, or relaying someone else's story who you know has gone through the same symptoms. A simple change in eating habits that will settle down of its own accord. So it's just like a headache from giving up coffee or cutting back on sugar. It's detoxification that will also settle down on its own accord. Both of these things are good for your long-term health. So how to alleviate symptoms? You, as a coach, do amazing follow-up. That's going to help them massively, knowing that there's someone on their side who understands how they feel and that it's good. Because, you know, the minute someone starts on a Herbalife, they're really excited. They go home to their husband and, you know, day one, they've got this headache and they're weeing all the time, and you know, their husband and the negative spouse, their partner's going, you know, that's not normal. You have to stop that. So you having you as a coach to be able to talk to them and be like, hey, you know, is this normal? And you're like, yes, that's fantastic. Then they're going to be able to kind of like keep their confidence up. Herbal aloe will often stop the problem before it starts. So if they're on an ultimate program or a healthy breakfast pack, that aloe is going to alleviate a lot of those problems. So I mentioned earlier that if I've got someone coming from a really unhealthy lifestyle, I do try to make sure that they are on aloe straight up, because I know it's going to really help with that detox. And water. Make sure they're drinking their daily allotment of water to flush toxins from the body. As Herbalife products start to cleanse the body, our products are activated by water, so it's really important. And you'll hear it in every training, through every coach. Any problem can be fixed with more water, more water, more water. And then persist using the program beyond the time of the symptoms. So make sure they understand it is temporary. It's only going to last a couple of days. I think at most, I've had one client a bit of a dull headache and a bit of lethargicness for 2 weeks. And, you know, they broke through that and gone on to lose 49 kilos. So it works. You've just got to persist through it. Awesome. So regardless of what objections people may have about Herbalife products or the brand, it's always important to leave people in no doubt of your intentions, that you just want to help them feel as amazing as you do.